So welcome to Books Are Good Medicine, a podcast sponsored by the Shakopee Mdewakanton Sioux community, featuring books and other Native American-focused resources. We're your hosts, Odia Wood-Krieger and
Allison Waka.
Wow, how don't you have that memorized?
I know, it's so hard. A little bittersweet today.
It is bittersweet. Folks are probably like, why is it so weird today?
Because it's our last one.
It is our last one. And so we're shaking it up a little bit. Yeah. It's just you and I again, which really are some of our favorite episodes.
It is. Yeah.
No shade to our guests.
Yeah.
Being able to sit and talk with you about books is pretty exciting.
It has been a wonderful opportunity. And I'm thankful to you, Odia, for bringing this to life. I think I said this before, but you follow through and you're just passionate about our people, and you saw this as an opportunity to showcase that. And so I'm very grateful to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we're a good combo.
We're a great combo. We don't think that. We know that.
Yeah.
No, it's been an absolute delight to just spend time with you and your amazing laugh and your incredible knowledge. And you're a community connector.
Well, and I think the both of us really balance each other out, with the stories and all the different topics and things that I would forget you would mention. And so I really hope that these episodes brought fun and learning that did not feel scary. And I really hope that people put that fear aside about us natives and go forth and continue learning. I think I hope that's what we did. We stirred the pot, and now with this we'll be listing more resources, and so you can continue your learning.
When I created this guide to reliable Native American related teaching resources for Understand Native Minnesota, it was so funny. There's 550 resources in here. And as you and I kept talking, I was like, I should make an addendum to this, right? Because there's so many great books coming out.
Yes.
And this guide made it so much easier for people to, you could just be like, here it is, you can download it, you can print it off or give it to people.
And you don't even have to be a Minnesotan to use that, right? Totally. It's for everyone. I recently recommended it in Wisconsin. And to the American Indian Library Association, it's been well received as a resource.
When you and I started talking about a podcast, it was like, how can we bring this to life?
Right.
And then just having the free reign to decide what topics and who we wanted to invite, it just kind of came.
There's still a long list to go, but
it kind of became like the cool kids club, right? We're like, ooh, I've always wanted to meet this person. Let's reach out to this person.
Yes.
Right. And then we also reached out to some of our friends, which was really amazing. And then we had suggestions about like, oh, I don't know how to talk about this, or and you and I would say, oh, maybe we should talk about this topic and help alleviate some of maybe the misinformation about that or the lack of information.
And I think that we learned alongside as well, right?
Totally.
Like there was so many different personalities and authors and community members and leaders that came in, and they gave their opinions and their knowledge, and just really thankful for all of them to come in and share that. And these episodes will be up for the long term. So feel free to share them out and push repeat. And I think one of the things that I hope these brought to you all is to decrease our invisibility. And so I hope that Native representation is something that is now not in the back of your mind, but in the front of your mind and in your bookshelves and your libraries and your classrooms. And we are here every day, all day on the same land as you. And I think I can't remember what episode, but we were talking about how don't just celebrate us in November, right? When you're doing a book display, and just make sure you have a Native author in there, right? So setting your intentions throughout your work and in your families and your homes. And there was this friend of mine, Bradley, that had said, intentions are like the sun with no heat. And I feel like I hope all your intentions out there with your learning continue, and that you bring the heat. You know, we're meant to shine, and as Native people and just as humans. And so I hope you all can do that within your workplaces and in your families.
Well, I think for a long time, Native books, maybe because they weren't always written by Native folks, but books written about Natives or Native content, they were kind of boring, right? And they were, you had to use them for diverse perspectives, but they weren't great because they weren't authentic. And so...
And contemporary, right?
Right. And so I want to say to folks, like when we brought these books in, we didn't just bring them in because they were Native. We brought them in because they're also really good books.
Yes.
And that's what I wanted people to think about. Like, you know, you don't necessarily have to say like, oh, I'm going to include this because it's Native. Please include it because it's a really great story. And that's why you don't have to wait till November to do it, because you can integrate these stories all year because they're wonderful.
Poetry, we covered fiction, covered nonfiction, we covered art, science,
history.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Like
so much.
Yep.
Farming, gardening,
fire.
Yes. The list goes on and on.
Yeah. We were thinking about our very first podcast episode, which was Lost Journals of Sacagawea.
I had no idea what this was going to be. Like I walked into that room and I was just overwhelmed with the mics and everything. But then once we started talking, it was just like us hanging out.
And I think that's one of my favorite things about this is people were like, you know, really nervous about this. Will you cut things out if I flub up? And for the most part, we just had a conversation and people were like, wow, that was easy. We were just hanging out. It was fun is what a lot of people said to us. And that was great. And I think for you and I, we were freaked out.
Yeah.
Right. I really need to go back and look at those, you know, first ones and see if we were deer in the headlights.
Oh, I know I was.
Probably still are to a little degree. But yeah, and I think back, Deborah Magpie Erling, that very first one. And then, you know, you didn't get to spend much time with Chris Latreille. You know, you met him at the Book Lovers Ball, but we also, got to meet Chris Latreille. That was one episode I did on my own. But for the most part, you and I got to hang out with all of these incredible folks, aside from just a few little side ones.
How many? So do you want to do the fun facts?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many episodes have we done then?
Well, this is number 33.
Okay.
So
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
We were very busy.
Yeah. Last year, we were kind of doing this every couple of weeks, even though they weren't coming out.
Right.
It was you and I were very enthusiastic about finding topics, and we ran with it. So that was exciting. So 33, and we launched at the end of June in 2024, but we were filming already in May. And I remember approving headshots and being so excited. There was one headshot I had where it looked like I was wearing a crown or a headdress, which I loved, and it got vetoed. I felt like, I'm cool with the crown.
Yeah.
How many total listeners?
Well, 33. Well, we had about 300 per episode, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not good at math. So whatever that is.
So there were 10,000 total listeners or viewers.
Oh my gosh.
Well, not including this one. So it's more than 10,000.
Yeah, it's more. And
because everyone's going to listen to this one.
So I feel like there has to be a ripple effect, right? Like, so people tell other people. And so hopefully, like, while this is our last episode, technically, it's still going to live. And so we'll have more and more, hopefully.
We have had more than 1,000 minutes or 17 hours of content.
Oh my goodness. You and I talking for 17 hours.
This made me laugh so hard. So what listeners probably don't know is we totally ignore all of the cues for timing. And we love to derail any sort of timeline.
Yeah.
But and I think if people know us, that's valid. That tracks.
we do have a natural, I think, beginning and end, right? And I think I'm so appreciative of our crew because they let us be who we are. And it's hard to do things sometimes within a time frame, right? Oh, like it's 10 o'clock. It needs to start at 10 o'clock. No, Odia and I, we chat.
Are we baby elders? We just keep talking. But, you can't stop us from talking.
Right. It's just, but we wait for that natural conclusion, you know, and that everything was said that needed to be said. And so I'm just really thankful and grateful for our crew and all the extra time behind the scenes. And also my family, I want to just give them a shout out. My mom and my dad and especially the kiddos and my sisters, the aunties, Alicia and Alyssa, really big in books and not sure what I would do without them. And my kiddo, Kenny and Grace and Hazel, I think since their birth, this work has become even more meaningful to me. And I hope that this podcast made their life brighter and easier. And it's helped me have conversations with them as well. Just yesterday, we were talking about blood quantum, you know, and this podcast was not only an opportunity, but it was an experience that really gave meaning. And I hope this to our listeners as well, I hope.
Yeah, and I hope that it became a vessel that they could share, right? And it became like, hey, this topic's important, but they didn't have to be the one to carry the heavy lift or do the heavy lift.
Right. And I think that stories too, our stories are so impactful in a way that, so you can always say the facts, like, okay, we weren't citizens till 1924, but you have to tell the story behind it, right? Or alongside it. And people, just as humans, stories lend so much more understanding and comprehension. And I hope that what we did with this books are good medicine, right? Because it provides that vessel, you know?
So I apologize for pulling up my phone, but there is a quote I always share when I do professional development. It's one of my favorites, but it's also one of the saddest. And it's, our stories sit in us, waiting to be told, to be acknowledged. Untold and unacknowledged, they will eventually translate themselves into other languages of abuse and addiction, of suicide and violence. In such a society and in such schools, we are literally dying to tell our stories. And I always love to drop that on teachers because it's important to share voices that maybe are different because you don't know who needs to hear those stories in your classroom.
Well, I think we talked about this too. Illuminative is a wonderful resource. So if you haven't checked them out yet, please do so. They have lesson plans and everything. But one of the things that I learned from Illuminative is that Native youth that learn their creation story are like 80% less likely to try to commit suicide. And so stories are so important. And that's one thing they really tried to take away from us, right? And alongside our language. And with this podcast, we hopefully gave the example that it wasn't successful, right? We have plenty of stories and plenty on the shelves. And with Birch Bark, please visit them. They have all the books, all the good books.
And they've got some great events coming up, too.
Oh, yeah.
They have
Angeline, yeah.
Angeline Bolley coming. She's got a third book coming out.
Yes.
So
I got it in the mail, I have to say.
How did you get it in the mail?
I don't know, but I got it, and I just feel like when I opened it, I didn't know what it was, and I just felt like Christmas, right? Or something.
Totally. Yeah. Books are the best gift
They
ever.
really, really are, especially unexpected books,
But yeah, Birch Bark Books, Louise Ardrick's bookstore.
Yeah.
We were hoping to do an on site, but it just never panned out. They're busy over there.
They are. And they, go and visit, though. When you walk in, it is the most beautiful scent. It touches all the senses.
Books and sage and
sweetgrass and just all the things.
Good. Just teleports you right there.
Yeah.
What do you think our top performing episode was?
Oh, geez.
I do have the answers.
Okay. Oh, geez. James? Maybe?
So I haven't looked yet.
Oh, okay.
I also would have thought James or Anton.
Yeah.
But I also think I remember hearing a rumor that it was one of our top whatever books. And I think we did high school first.
Just me and you.
Just you.
Oh.
I think it might be us. So let's look.
Okay.
It's upside down. Let's have a little Classroom Essentials, Native American Terminology. Yeah. I think that was it. That was our top one.
Oh, we totally did that.
That's
so
crazy.
Awesome. Yes.
So back in June. June of 24 is when we filmed that one, and then it came out in July. So that's exciting. It was one of our first ones when we were probably terrified to be in front of the camera.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So that's cool.
That makes me feel good. That made my day.
So number 2 was Anton's. Worlds Don't Die.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Sorry, Anton. Number 3, Deborah Magpie Erling.
Oh, our first one.
Amazing. Lost Journals of Sacagawea. Number 4, interview with Rachel about ribbon skirts.
Oh.
I am wearing a Rachel King original.
And I have to say, too, we were totally in sync today, ribbon skirt, and brought all the ribbon medicine.
Yeah.
I, for a long time, wanted to learn, and it's always been, but, Indian women are intimidating just a little bit sometimes, especially in the sewing circles. And so Fire Mountain Fabrics is a local native fabric store. Wonderful women. One is Navajo, which is cool. And they did a class this past weekend. I'm usually brave on behalf of other people, right? But not maybe necessarily on behalf of myself. And I had a friend that he went into ceremony, right, not knowing anything. And that's hard, right? It's just something that, and I was like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it, right? I can learn how to do ribbon skirt. And so, and Fire Mountain really gave me the safe space to learn with other folks that hadn't ever done it before too. So beginners and teaching us about the bobbins and all the things, but it was a wonderful experience. I have to say, a lot of laughter. And we all had to rally to do the pockets, because that was not on the agenda for our learning, but pockets are important. But it just was a wonderful experience. It was really meditative too, I have to say. Sewing, you can't think about anything else really. You got to concentrate, and so that was something I didn't really think about. But it just and you have to have good intentions. They were saying you make sure you smudge your dress and your skirt, and it just was really wonderful experience. I
feel like you've given people an analogy for this, for learning about Native content. Like it's sometimes scary.
Even ourselves, right?
Right? It's scary, but we want to do it, and we're worried we're going to misstep. There's a great community that wants to uplift you. And
Right. and a great ending is a pretty skirt that I get to wear now.
And it's beautiful.
Oh,
you did
thank
a
you.
spectacular job.
Yeah, there's I know where I need to improve, but definitely can't really see from the, the outside.
No,
but,
it looks amazing.
but
Don't be so hard on
I
yourself.
did the strawberries and blueberries because like Grace really loves strawberries. You know, she's our little strawberry, and then Hazel adores blueberries. And so I was like, oh, a skirt. So there's meaning. There's always that story, right? Odia, you're so right. There's always a story behind everything. Thank you for letting me share that.
Happy to. Number 5 was James Vukolich. Number 6, interview with Katrina Phillips about Indigenous Peoples Day.
Oh, yes.
That was so lovely. Number 7, Classroom Essentials, books every elementary school library should have. That one was so much fun.
And that list is, we still have more to add.
I brought a suitcase in.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane because they were like, bring in 10.
No.
It's like picking your favorite star in the sky. Sorry. Number 8 was the middle school version of that.
Okay.
And then 9 was Winter Stories.
Ooh.
That one was fun. So cozy. 10, Indigenous Peoples Task Force about first medicine.
Yes.
That was lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, and the young people are going to save us, aren't they?
Yes.
Did you have a favorite episode?
Honestly,
Impossible, right?
all of them in some form or fashion. And I was going through them, and I think I just had takeaways from each one, right? And I think my favorite thing is just these are serious topics, but we were able to like laugh and still bring some community into it, right? Like those relationships, and even with folks that we didn't know on a personal level. And but I think one of the biggest takeaways too was when it was shared that Dakota and Ojibwe weren't always in conflict. Before colonization, there wasn't necessarily the conflict that is really advertised today.
Yeah. Anton spoke about that.
Yeah. And so I feel like that's a narrative that we don't hear. Mm-hmm. You know, we hear about, we're at war and this and that, but we lived for thousands of years together, and the conflict comes later, and it was because we were starving. And so I think I would like to remember that, that we as a people are honorable and giving, and it was in our ways. And that was something I hadn't known before. Or maybe I did on some level, just internally, but not to have it said out loud was really meaningful. And knowing that we can shape the narrative of ourselves, right? And we can start saying the truth, and within these stories and with our episodes. And that's what we really did,
I feel like, especially in this day and age, we need to allow space for different perspectives and different stories. Exactly. And let people figure out their own way without trying to always tamp down on it.
Yeah. Support them and in a good way. Yeah.
I really loved our on location. Going to Hyde.
Oh, yes.
Hyde's writing space was pretty
beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Beautiful space.
Like that was, I never could have imagined being in this amazing little spot, and Hyde is an absolute delight. And then you missed out on the, when we went to go see Teresa Peterson. We had Rebecca Crooks Stratton on that one. That one was just going out to her land and walking her garden was so beautiful. And Science Museum of Minnesota, spending time with Bijuta was so,
the buffalo.
She's such a gentle person, and just talking about it all and seeing some of the exhibit from We Move, We Stay.
And there's plenty of places we weren't able to visit.
Totally.
But encourage you all, if you're listening, to go to Shakopee.
Yep, Hochokadati, their cultural center.
Yes, and Mille Lacs has a wonderful museum. Minnesota History Center, Minnesota Humanities Center has a wonderful tour that they do. So there's a lot of places that we necessarily didn't get to take you on location, but they're still there, still able to go visit.
Completely. Thinking about Hochokadati, I was there somewhat recently, and they have a fun little coloring book that they pass out, and it has the Dakota moons you can color. So it's a fun little free book that you can grab when you're there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's totally free. And so historically, Hochokadati has has waived their entrance fee during MEA in October, and we've been told that they're going to do that again. So educators, so bring your school ID, your teacher ID, I would say any school ID, honestly. And October 16th through 18th, entrance is free of charge at the Cultural Center. So
it's really nice in there.
Even the outside is so stunning with the teepees.
Yeah.
So really
I've gone through a few times, and every time I latch onto something different.
Totally. Mm-hmm. Yep. It is just a powerful exhibit, and the Cretan story at the beginning is exceptional. Really, brings you in and feel cozy. So, any sort of last thoughts? It's like it's bittersweet. I want to just keep talking so it doesn't end.
Yeah. It's I'm sure I'm going to think of something on the way home, and but there'll be additional resources listed with the episode, and I just hope that this is a good place to start, right? And there's no ending here with your learning and your sharing, and bittersweet is I feel like a little tang of like a choke cherry.
We did great things.
Yeah,
like I'm really proud of the work that we did.
Me too.
And the work we did together.
Yeah.
It was really, really, really grateful for you.
Mm-hmm. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So on that note, we say farewell for the final time.
See
but
you later.
certainly not goodbye.
No.
Right?
See you later.
And I think people will see you in the community more than me. Oh, it's funny. People come up to you and say, hey, I saw Books Are Good Medicine. I'm starting to think I'm a bit of a hermit when people don't see me. So you'll see Allison out in the community. You probably won't see me out in the community.
Well, you know where to reach us. You post all your travels on Instagram and all the things. So,
I do. Yeah,
find us, reach out to us. We're here. We're not going anywhere.
And we're still reading all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So long.
So long. See you later.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Books Are Good Medicine. Subscribe to our channel on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can also visit our website, booksaregoodmedicine.com, to find episodes and resources, or to send us a comment. This podcast is sponsored by the Shakopee, Metawakan Sioux community and produced by Goff Public. Our theme music is Stomp Dance by Blue Dog. The opinions expressed on the Books Are Good Medicine podcast by its co-hosts and guests are their own in their personal capacities and do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization with whom they are affiliated or of the podcast sponsor.